Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Monday evening, wherever you are in the goddamn world, how are you? And how are you, Mr. Smith?
I am good, Mr. Bisping. I'm living the dream, as the kids would say. As the kids would say.
Are you walking on a dream?
I am. I'm walking on. I ain't got no crutches. It's a good day. Oh man, I cursed again. I gotta take it easy on that. I know. I gotta take it easy.
First 5 minutes or so. Right. We're just gonna get through the first.
I did it in the first 30 seconds.
Swearing. I really care. Okay, for the algorithm on YouTube to share the show to many, many people. Walking on a dream. Who sings that?
I don't know.
Empire of the Sun. You like a bit of Empire of the Sun, Anthony?
I don't even know what that is.
They're good.
How am I on here with you? I don't know anything about movies. I'm bad with music.
Neither do I.
Oh, okay. Well, you know more than I do. Well, I don't. Sometimes I wonder, like, why does he keep bringing me on here all the time? Because I never get his movie quotes. I don't know any songs. I just been punching people in the face for a long time. That's all I do.
Well, same here. I'm like, all my movie quotes are from when I was a kid. You might have noticed they're all Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're all the Goonies, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But what have we got to talk about? Obviously, 281 this weekend. Massive fight. You're going to be there, Anthony, in New York, eh?
I am. You know, I can kind of tell how big an event's going to be, you know, like just by what my media schedule looks like. And that's just me working it, covering it, promoting the event. It feels pretty big because the second I touch down in New York Thursday, I got a show Thursday. I got several shows on Friday.
And then we're going to get shithoused.
Hey, listen, guys, I had to work though. So you got to wait until 10 o'clock on Friday. 10 o'clock on Friday, I am all yours.
Hold on. What's going on here? You having a little Believe You Me get together?
Dude, all you got to do is book a flight.
Oh, just the one weekend I have off, I'll just go to work for free.
No, don't work. Just come drink.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not good. You do realize New York is a 6-hour flight away from me.
Just sleep.
No,
get real drunk the night before.
Well, I usually do that anyway. That's why I might be a little sluggish today. A couple of margaritas last night. UFC 281, should we get into all that stuff? What are your initial thoughts?
Wait. So you don't want to come? You're not going to come hang out with us?
I'm not going to come, categorically. I have no shame in saying so.
Sometimes I feel like me and Brian and Harrington are kind of like the redheaded stepchildren of the BYM podcast. And you're like the cool jock that just doesn't want to hang out with us.
Whoa!
Like,
you can't.
Like, no, sorry, I gotta play quarterback in the Friday night football game. I got too many more important things to do.
Go on, Brian. Go on.
Anthony, you have to understand, we're the third family behind his family in California, the family in China, and then
yes. Do you know about the family in China, the Bispings?
The Bispings, I heard about them.
Yeah. No,
we're behind the Bispings?
No, you're not. You're level. You're neck and neck.
That doesn't seem good, though.
It's not good. I don't ever speak to them. I have no interaction with them whatsoever. No, I don't want to pay for my own flight to fly to New York, stay in a hotel, beg the UFC for a ticket.
I'll pay for it. I'll pay for your flight and we can share a bed.
You're leaving me with no options but to say, go fuck yourself.
I got a beautiful guest room in my new place.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll put you up.
No. I'm not coming.
And then you could teach Harrington all you know about fathering.
Oh, that's definitely no.
Fine. We'll just keep being the losers. That's fine. Well, it's all right. No, the three of us together, we'll sit around. We'll have a picture of you sitting on the other end of the booth.
You can all get together and you can all say what you truly feel about me, knowing I'm not there. Brian's not recording it. If I'm going to go out on a Zoom, you can all get drunk and say, yeah, he's a one-eyed prick, you know, and I'll be like, well, I brought you all together. I brought you into the fold, you know.
I would never say you're a one-eyed prick.
Jesus. When it comes to the Believe You Me, I'm Jesus, okay?
Wow. What are we?
Lewis
The
is
apostles.
Judas
Peasants.
Iscariot. Well, no, you were peasants. You were wandering aimlessly. You were my disciples. I brought you into the fold. You would be Joseph. Would you be Joseph? Who would you be in this biblical treat, in this biblical
That's another
affair?
book. That's another movie I haven't seen.
The Bible. What's that one that Mel Gibson did? What was that called? What was that
Passion
called?
of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
Oh,
I've
I
never
did see
seen
that one. I
I'm
did see
sure.
that one.
Very violent movie. I'm sure you did.
Well, no, we had to watch it in school.
I've never seen it. Is it any good?
I don't remember. I think I skipped.
It's
Like
very
halfway through the
violent.
movie.
It's Jesus, rated R Jesus.
I like violence. I probably need to watch it then.
Well, let's talk about some violence, and not the kind of violence where I'll have anything to do with this weekend, UFC 281. Is it? It's kind of. I saw him speaking to Ariel this morning. Did you see some of those clips online?
No, I didn't.
Saying, this is personal for him, and he's kind of emotional going into it. But I think a lot of that, how Izzy gets. He often just hypes things up for the sake, not for the sake of it, because he's doing his job. He's a promoter. He's the main event. He's the champion. He's doing his job. You're supposed to get interest. So he's saying it's personal, and I understand that because he has lost to him twice. So I think as a man, there's pride on the line here for him. But I don't think he's going to be over emotional or anything coming into this one. I think he's going to be cool, calm, collected, and he's going to leave emotions out of the game plan.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't know how to say it without sounding like I'm coming down on Izzy. But after the Cain fight, I don't want to say I was critical of him, but I was very honest about my feelings in the Cain fight. You sold me. You brought me in. Yep. You are like, all right, that fight, that wasn't a fight like just on paper that super interested me. Not that I'm not going to watch it because I'm always going to tune into an Israel Adesanya fight because of his greatness, but it wasn't one where it was, I was, sitting around just excited about it because of the style matchup. I was like, well, Izzy's going to stay on the outside. He's going to pick him apart. He's going to stay safe and he's going to cruise to a decision. But then he started saying things, I'm going to go out there and finish him. You guys are going to see a different monster, blah, 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 blah. Got me excited. And then I felt like you sold me wolf tickets. You lied to me. You went in and you were great and you were dominant and you pitched a shutout, which is what you're supposed to do and win. But don't convince me that something else is going to happen. And then this fight, I don't think he has a choice. He's going to have to be in the fire a little bit. So I think maybe sometimes he's preparing himself for the worst case scenario. And that's a firefight where he's got to dig deep and go to that dark place. And then if it doesn't happen, then that's perfect for him. But I don't know.
The Cannoneer fight, is that the one where apparently is people were leaving before the fight had finished because they knew, I think I read this online or something. Apparently people were walking out the arena to beat the traffic because it was clear that Adesanya was going to get the decision. They're like, well, we don't need to see the end of it because, was that the one? Yeah. I mean, well, what do you make of that? Because I still don't, in my mind, I don't allow that for me to put a label on Izzy and say that he's not an exciting fighter because I think he's very excited. I just think, sometimes being the pressure of the champ, the lifestyle, the money, the wealth, the fame, the fortune, just a general lifestyle. With that comes a lot of pressure. George St. Pierre, I think I've talked about this on the show before. So if I have, I apologize for repeating myself. But, not every fight is going to be, that classic fight. Every fight's not going to be Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum or the knockouts of Robert Whittaker and stuff like that. Look at Anderson Silva. That's always the example that I use. He was in some shitty fights as well. So I think when you're fighting the best guy, the number one contender on the planet each and every single time, then sometimes you've got to be strategic. You've got to play human chess because you can't go out there and just brawl with everybody. What are your thoughts?
I 100% agree. I'll never fault anybody for
winning.
For doing what they have to do and fighting their best fight. I'll never fault anybody for that. It's more the what you say versus what you're going to do type of thing. Like if you say, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to dominate and he's not even going to get close. Okay. I'm sold. I'm in. I want to watch that. And then when you do it, it's even better. You called your own shot.
Devil's avocado.
Okay.
Devil's avocado. People often always say, I always said it. I'm sure you're going to say it about your next opponent. Oh, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out. Just you wait and see. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to win. I've lost fights. I don't think I ever went out there and said I was going to lose. In fact, I can categorically right now say I never went out there and said, you know what, guys? And you know what? Wouldn't that be refreshing if someone did? If they came out and went, you know what? Oh, man, this is a tough one. I don't even know if I'm going to win. I'm going to fucking try. I'm going to train hard as a motherfucker because believe you me, right? The name of the podcast, if you didn't know. Believe you me, this guy's tough and I need to be in the best shape. I'm going to get the best training partners. But I don't know, guys. I think that might be the best subconscious promotion for a fight ever.
I did it one time, not the losing thing. I did it when I fought Gustafsson. I remember them asking me in the media day, all right, Anthony, how are you going to get this win? And I remember I kind of thought about it. It's like, I didn't really come here to win. I just had a hangover from the John Jones thing, and I just wanted to fight. I wanted to fight, and I wanted to put on a great performance, and I wanted to hit something, and I wanted to punch someone really hard. That was it. I didn't come there to win. And they were just like, what in the, there was articles, Anthony Smith says he doesn't want to win. I was like, it's not what I said. I'd like to win. like, if I can help it, that's what I'll do. But that's not the focus here. I didn't come here to win.
I know that we'll talk about this again on Thursday, but give me your prediction, if you don't mind, for this weekend. Obviously, the whole narrative, Pereira beat him twice. One time, very close decision. Second one, knockout. But in the knockout, prior to the knockout, Adesanya had him. The referee stepped in and gave Pereira a standing 8 count. The standing 8 count, you know what I mean? It's close to 10. I don't know if you know this. 8, 9, 10. 2 seconds, it was over. So it was close and very close. How do you see this one going down?
Yeah, I've been really excited about this matchup and the thought of the matchup. And I think what I found myself doing was, just because there's someone who may have an opportunity to give Adesanya, I don't know, a challenge on his feet, someone who can stay safe and be dangerous there. I think that for a while I was thinking maybe it's going to go better for Pereira than maybe it will. Because the more I kind of dig into it and watch it, and I'm watching both of them fight, it's kind of just they're total opposite type of strikers. It's just Pereira's the only guy that can fight Israel Adesanya on his feet on his terms. There's no one else in the division that can do that.
At his height and his range as well. Right.
He's taller, he's bigger, significantly bigger, and a little bit taller. He's absolutely more powerful for sure. He's had some hard times. I wish I could remember the guy's name. I was thinking about Bruno Silva. I was at that fight.
I'll let you finish your point. I'll jump in a second. Go on.
I was at that fight, and maybe it was the takedown threat of Bruno Silva that was changing the way that Alex was kind of approaching that fight. But Bruno Silva wasn't afraid of him, and he kind of gave him all he could handle there for a while. And I just have a hard time thinking that there's a guy that struggled for a little while and was in a pretty contested and closely contested fight with Bruno Silva is going to wow and dazzle Israel Adesanya on his feet. What I'm afraid of is that Izzy is going to be so focused and so just hyper aware of the power shot that he's never going to put himself in a position or he's never going to be out of position. I don't think either one of them are going to wrestle. I just think that Izzy's going to stick and move. He's going to hit him from the outside. He's going to be rangy and long, because even though Alex Pereira is as long or longer than Izzy, he doesn't fight long. So
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't fight at a long range. He likes to get in tight and kind of get in that in the nastiness a little bit. I just believe in Izzy. I believe in his ability to stay safe, and defensively he's been masterful up to this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely, fully agree. And I'm not disagreeing with what you say here, but just a note on Bruno Silva, because Bruno Silva, yes, he took him to a decision, and I think that was not his last fight, the one before it. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking up my notes. When I commentate, I put notes in my iPhone. Bruno Silva, on a fight, this was obviously the last time I commentated one of his fights, on a 5-fight win streak, all knockouts, 17 knockouts in total, versus Jordan Wright. Obviously some typo here, but weight ladding, don't know what that means. Being aggressive, tie clinch from Jordan, big 1-2, drops him, more shots, fights over. Bruno Silva, the point I'm making, is very, very good. He's very good, and he's a tough guy, and he's hard to beat. He's got big power, and he can grapple as well. And when you look at Izzy's record as well, yeah, granted, Marvin Vettori, Brad Tavares, great fighters, but they went to decisions as well. You know what I'm saying? So Izzy wasn't knocking everybody out. So, you are right in what you say, but I think when you look at the opponent and then you compare it to Izzy's, which is only fair to do, he also had some early decisions as well. Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I think Izzy's game plan is going to be very simple. It's going to be stay calculated, keep it at range, try and use speed to get in and out, be very evasive, and play a long tactical game, which...
Do you think anybody wrestles?
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing, because I think as coordinated, and I said this on the BT Sports Show, as coordinated as Izzy is, he's got the breakdancing, he's got the moves, he's the guy's the full package. He could be a professional dancer if he wanted to. He could probably do any sport on the planet. He's that kind of athlete. He's got that hand-eye body coordination, So all that time defending takedowns, you can bet your bottom dollar. Right? Yes, you learn how to defend takedowns because that's all he needs. But he knows how to do a few takedowns. I guarantee it. And I think he might just sprinkle in the odd one here and there if the opportunity presents itself. I don't think he'll go out of his way purposely trying to set them up, like I might do 1, 2, 2, bring the hands up, shooting for the legs or whatever. But if he sees one opening, if he sees it there, I think he might just do it just to go, look at that. And even if he takes him down, not even follow him down, just like kind of like point and go, look, welcome to mixed martial arts, son. I've been doing this game longer than you. There's a reason that I'm the champ. I'm putting you on the floor like that. So I think if he sees an opportunity to do that, he'll do it just for like a quick ego thing and that showmanship that Izzy does have. What do you think?
I agree, but I also think that could go both ways. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them, attack a couple takedowns, like, just because they're both so comfortable in those clinch positions, like, fighting out of the tie clinch. I wouldn't be shocked to see either one of them go to a body lock and start looking for trips and shit like that.
Well,
especially Pereira's he's pretty good on the ground from what I hear.
Well, no, exactly. Like I watched his first fight in MMA recently, and I think it was his first one. And he's going for belly down arm bars and all kinds of stuff. He was being very, very aggressive with the guy that he was fighting with submissions, and they were decent. He never got them, but they were decent attempts. They weren't terrible compared to my first MMA fight when I was trying to go for triangles and stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so bad. Like it was my second fight. I think it was Cage Rage 7. I'm fighting Mark Epstein. I'm trying to throw triangles up and all sorts, arm bars a mile away, not even getting close. His were good. His were decent. And he changed the Glover Teixeira. And we all know what a beast he is on the ground. So, Harrington, let's lighten the mood just real quick before we go back to this. Tell us about something that's going on in the world, and how the hell are you, by the way? Everyone loves Harrington these days. What a U-turn you've done.
Dude, I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for asking. Let's see, fun, lighthearted.
It was just a rhetorical. How you doing? Yeah. Are you genuinely interested, Anthony, in how he's doing?
Not particularly.
Yeah, no. Why would he be? You guys have very.
Michael is right. It seems like the meaner he is to you, the more everyone else starts to like you. Because when I started on here, it was hardcore fuck you, Harrington. Mm-hmm. And now I see a lot of comments where people are like, "Oh, we love you, Harrington." Like, what the hell happened here?
Everybody.
To be fair, I did get a question in today entitled "Fuck you, Harrington." So we're gonna listen to that one.
Well, that's good. Keep those coming.
To that later. Keep those coming. Yeah, bympod@gmail.com. Harrington, what did you do at the weekend? Tell me real quick. What did you do? Don't take long. Real quick.
Had a show on Saturday night. Hung out with my girl. Watched movies on Friday. Had a show on Saturday.
What movie?
We tried watching this new Netflix movie. It was I don't even remember the name of it. Welcome to Bridge Hollow, I think it was called. It was pretty funny.
No, God. Not interested. Sorry.
All right.
Brian just edited that bit out of the podcast. We're not interested in Harrington's personal life. Sorry,
shouldn't
mate.
be.
I'm joking, mate. But it's lovely to see you, Harrington. It's lovely to see you wearing a t-shirt this time. Mm-hmm. Anthony came on Thursday's episode pretty much naked. I'm just going to throw it down.
He must have, because I was getting comments about something Harrington was wearing. What the hell was he wearing?
He was just wearing a vest, but it was like so
tank
low
top.
cut.
Yeah.
A tank top, yeah, as you guys call
Like you
it.
did that on purpose.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Like
you know,
like
it's
you
what I
put,
look
like you
best
put
in.
it on. You put it on, and then you looked in the mirror and went, "Yeah, that's good."
And he didn't even use the Manscaped 4.0 performance package.
No.
You know what I mean? To get that shit in check.
I had to show off just how manly I am, just how much testosterone I'm still producing.
Listen, it's not only my show, it's mine and Anthony's. But Anthony, are we mandating from now on that no more tank tops on Harrington on the show?
I would second that. I would second that. If you proposed it, I would second it.
Listen, this is a democracy.
I'm into it. I think
What, the tank top or the banning of tank
the
top?
banning of tank tops. Ban it.
Okay.
Ban all
Just
the
for
tank
Harrington,
tops.
though.
So that one you're wearing now, that's okay. But that it was almost like you were going for a bit of sex appeal. You know, there was a lot of flesh on display. There was a
I love
lot
how
of
Mike
flesh.
said that. Like, it's almost like you were trying to look good.
Oh shit. Anyway, sorry, buddy. We love you. We're only messing around. Please don't start crying.
I would never. I came on to just give you some lighthearted, fun news stories about stuff that's going on in the world. Like, for instance, 2 Iowa teens are accused of killing their Spanish teacher due to a bad grade they received.
Where at in Iowa? You say the city?
Look for it right now. Court in Fairfield,
You know it?
Iowa.
I don't even know where that is.
No.
Yeah.
So
It's a town
hold
of
on.
about 9,400 people. It's 100 miles outside of Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying that two students, they got bad Spanish grades, and to make up for it, their plan of attack, their rational thinking was, while we got bad grades, let's murder the teacher.
Well, I mean, if you murder the teacher, she can't put it in the book in time. It doesn't go on your final report card. You just knock all those problems right out of the way.
Question: did they succeed in murdering the teacher?
Oh, they for sure succeeded in murdering her. They did a pretty bad job.
Oh, I
of
thought you
hiding her body.
I thought you meant they planned it.
No,
They actually killed her.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Why are you so happy about somebody dying, Carrington? You're
I'm
like,
not.
yeah, I fucking hate Spanish teachers. Fuck that bitch. No, someone's dead. She was a
Wow.
mother. She was someone's daughter, sister. Yeah, granted. Sounds like a bit of a...
Man.
I'm not taking the name in vain. How did they murder her, though?
So here's the story. They went in to discuss the grade. Apparently, it was only one of the 2 students who got the bad grade, but both of them went in to talk to her. They were unhappy with her.
Well,
teaching
bros
methods
before
throughout the year.
hoes is what they said to each other. They said,
Jesus Christ.
they're like, yo, bro, nobody gives my guy a D, you know? They're like, yeah, but you got an A. He said, yeah, but, you know, we're like that.
Stick together.
Yeah.
So apparently they went in to have this conversation with her. After they were done, she drove to a park where, you know, she's known to take daily walks. I guess that's what she does after she leaves school. Witnesses say that they saw 2 men later leaving the park in her van. It was found on a rural road, just ditched somewhere. And the 2 men in question were found hiking down that same road and were eventually picked up by passersby. The body was found in the woods at that park, very slightly buried under a tarp.
And what had they done to her? That is. You came on here and said you want to bring a bit of sunshine.
Lighthearted.
Lighthearted, I believe was the word. Yes, this is anything but lighthearted. And I apologize for my crude joke earlier, but you know, I'm gonna have a laugh. What did they do? Just like bludgeon her to death with like sticks and stones or something?
Beat her to death with a baseball bat.
Wow.
Over a bad grade?
Yep.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I mean, people get killed over some crazy stuff, but that seems about the craziest.
That is insane. All right, let's just talk about FitBod real quick. Look, listen, we all want to go to the gym. We want to look good. You know, Christmas is coming up, but still we want to stay in shape. But sometimes you don't know what to do. You get bored. You lose motivation, you know. Guess what? That is where FitBod Smart Workout app comes into play, because FitBod, the Smart Workout app, creates a custom dynamic exercise program based on your goals, experience, and equipment, and then varies your routine to avoid overtraining. And as I said before, getting bored. The algorithm uses data and analytics to scientifically build your best next workout and maximize results. You can see your muscle usage, recovery achievements, workout streaks, all right there in the app. You are in control, and the workouts are designed just for you, so you get exactly what you need. Look, listen, for the less than the cost of one session with a personal trainer, you can get a full year of personalized workouts with Fitbod. Fit exercises into your schedule, because the best time of the day to exercise is whenever you're free. Not when your trainer says they can do it. Whenever you've got the time, you just pull your phone out, you go to the app, bish, bash, bosh. There it is. You're off to the races. Fitbod works on your iOS and your Android devices. The app is super easy. Well, it is easy, but it's easy to use with video tutorials that make learning the new exercises a breeze. Okay, listen, want to work out? Give this a try. You will not be disappointed. And right now, keep your workout momentum going. Get personalized workouts from Fitbod that get tougher as you get tougher. And right now, get 25% off your subscription, or try out the app for free when you sign up right now at fitbod.me/believe. That is 25% off your subscription, or you can try it for free at fitbod.me/believe. You can try it for free. Do you know what I mean? You can try it for free. Why wouldn't you do this? Go to fitbod.me/believe.
I found a body one time. Ooh. Did I ever tell you that story?
Whoa. You found the dead body.
I need to be very sensitive, because I don't know if they listen to this, but he wasn't quite past when I found him.
He was almost dead, but I took one look at him and I thought, I'm doing you a favor here, pal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, something like that, except for minus the part.
No, go on, Martin, go on.
So I was like 17. Back in the day, I used to get in a little bit of trouble, right? I was getting in trouble, partying too hard. So I was on probation, and I had a tracker. So I had an ankle monitor on.
Done that, buddy.
Yeah, I had an ankle monitor on.
Kept that one quiet. I've never said anything till now, but a tag, as we call it back in the UK.
Yeah, so I had a tag. That's what I'm gonna start calling it, because it sounds cooler. I had a tag on my ankle, so I had a curfew. And this type of ankle monitor wasn't one that tracked you 24/7. You had to plug it in when you got to your house, because it's a while ago. These are different, but you had to plug it in and put this magnet on it when you got home, and then it paged your tracker, like your person. So on the weekend, she was just like, I don't know, some 20-something-year-old girl, and she didn't give a shit. So she sometimes she would call back, and then sometimes she wouldn't, to check if I was there. So I'd always wait around for she'd never call if I was there for longer than 10 minutes. So I waited my 10 minutes and walked outside, and I heard this weird noise. Now I lived on the edge of town, and it wouldn't be weird for deer or whatever to be, walking through town, or walking through my yard or whatever. And sometimes those animals get hit by cars. And so it sounded like a deer that had been hit by a car that wasn't quite dead yet, but it's dark. It's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I see this dark figure, like this body of something, down at the corner of the yard. So I remember thinking oh man, this fucking deer got hit by a car. Now I got to go get my truck and load this deer up and go get rid of it. And so my buddy is pulling up to pick me up, because we're going to go finish partying. And he pulls in the driveway. And so I tell him to back out and shine his lights on that part of the grass. And then as I'm walking down there, he shines the lights on it, and it's a person. And he was moaning. So long story short, there was a fight down the street a ways, 5 or 6 blocks. The two guys had gotten into a fight over a girl. One guy had beat the other guy's ass and then left. So he left and was walking down the street, and the other guy was pissed, got in his car, ran him down on purpose with the car, and then drug him for 2 blocks, and he got stuck under the car. So they drug him out and threw him up in my yard. And then I came outside just minutes later and found him. Yeah, it's crazy.
So he was on the verge of dying.
Yeah. So I lived, at the time my mom's house was 2 blocks from the hospital. You could see it from my yard, and ambulance came. I run, I go inside to get my mom. My mom comes outside. 911 is telling us to try to keep him still, because they don't know how hurt he is. So they don't want neck injuries or whatever. And I remember my mom holding his, trying to hold his head, because he was kind of rolling around, and his head sank in when she was holding his head. So he was pretty close at that point anyways. Wow. But ambulance shows up, they get him in the ambulance, and that poor guy never even made it to the hospital.
Poor guy.
Sorry about the sad story.
No, it isn't. That is a horrific
But
story.
the point is,
But,
people do
hold on.
horrific things.
People do horrific things. But you know what? I found a guy had fallen off a car, a mode of transportation, and he was on the verge of death as well in a very similar way. But you know what the difference is between you and me, Anthony? I managed to save the guy's life.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're such an
I was trying to.
Oh, my God.
I gave him mouth to mouth, CPR, the fucking full Monty. I was going for it. I'm like, seriously. And he's a very famous person. I won't say his name, actually. We were on an act.
You really saved his life?
I saved his fucking life. Of course I did, yeah.
Oh, well, fuck you. I didn't save shit. I was just a 17-year-old boy. I was scared, Michael.
This joke, just that line just occurred to me. I'm like, do I go there? Do I say it or not? Do I say it or not? And I'm like, yeah.
yes, you do.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That guy, actually, the guy that killed him is out of prison already.
Oh, jeez. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
God.
But anyways, the point of that was people do horrific things for the smallest reasons. Like bad grades, fights over girls, like, Jesus, man. None of that stuff seems like
that's people that have a predisposition to something to that kind of behavior. Do you know what I mean? Because we all have tempers. I'm pretty good these days compared to how I used to be. I am remarkably better. Remarkably. But I still lose my temper on occasion. Mm-hmm. But even though I lose my temper, and in the past when I've lost my temper, it's been like a blind red rage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never come ever close to murdering somebody or running them over or going to go get my car or shooting them or stabbing them with a knife. I mean, so I think somebody like that is probably got that kind of, I don't know
that's in him already somewhere.
Well, what's the word I'm looking for? What the hell is the word I'm looking for?
Instinct.
Well, instinct, but that. I think it's a homicidal maniac.
Predisposition.
Like a predisposition. Is that the word you're looking for?
It's like a Sean Strickland-esque quality running through his veins, dying to murder people.
That guy is crazy.
I can't believe just recently one of the questions was who on the UFC roster would murder someone. I think we answered it together.
We did. How did we not say Sean
How did we not think of Sean Strickland? Because that is the first guy. In fact, speaking of Sean Strickland, Harrington, have you got that clip? Or Brian? Harry, shut the flip up. I'm going to lose my temper now with Harry. I'm going to fucking burn him up.
Who the hell's Harry?
Harry's my dog. You want to see Harry?
Sure.
Hey, Rebecca, bring Harry. I'm going to give you guys some advice. Showering with your AK is the most fucking American thing you can do. It's not fucking weird. Showering with your AK is not fucking weird. It's the most American thing you can do. Say hello to Harry, Anthony.
What's up, Harry?
This little Harry.
Look at Harry.
He's all dressed up for Halloween. He's got his pumpkin bandana on.
Look at this.
What do you think of Sean Strickland in the shower with an AK-47?
Okay, so first of all, that might be the most American thing you can do. Second of all, it's still pretty fucking weird. Two things can be true at the same time. That's fucking weird, but it's definitely America for sure.
I don't know if that's American or just really dumb.
It's pretty
really
weird.
Stupid. And like,
weird.
What is he trying to prove
America.
there?
It's America as shit though.
Yeah, it is. It's red, white, and blue all day long, baby. Yeehaw!
You've never been in the shower and been afraid someone's gonna break in?
I've never taken a weapon to the shower, let alone an AK-47. I've never taken a knife. I've never taken a bat. All I take is left hook Larry and right hook Rebecca.
I can't say I've never taken a weapon to the bathroom, but
that gun will fire.
Well, that's what I mean.
It will.
It's very
for sure.
wet. What if he slips?
Well,
AKs will fire. That's just the.
You might shoot yourself, but it's going to go off. That's for sure.
A lot. Shoot yourself a lot. Not a little.
It's a
How many
big
rounds
boom.
a second or a minute with an AK-47? It'd be a second, right?
Well, it's as fast as you can pull the trigger.
Oh,
it's a semi-automatic.
Single shot?
Yeah, it's a semi-automatic.
Single shot.
Yeah,
so it'd be one shot.
Yeah, be a big one.
Nothing about guns.
Yeah, it'd be a big one though.
The bullets are like the projectiles are like this big. They punch holes in fucking concrete walls.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be loud as fuck. I'll tell you that.
It could
You know,
probably
loud
go
that
through
thing would be
Sean
in a
Strickland.
bathroom.
It could. Oh my God, could you imagine that? It'd be loud. The echo would be crazy. But I was
Yeah,
going to
it'd
say,
be
it could
so
probably go through Sean Strickland's head and not affect his level of intelligence, though. It'll be all right.
I just don't know why you would do that. That's I listen. I'm all in on Sean Strickland's weirdness.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
Me too.
Sometimes he makes me nervous. Like every once in a while, he'll say something like, "He sounded really serious there," and made me uncomfortable. But
Sean Strickland. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I've taken weapons into the bathroom before.
Yeah, but why?
Not on purpose.
Just in case.
Well, like sometimes
just in case. I'm in the shower. He's using his fucking.
Not in the shower though. I've taken.
You don't wash your hair anyway. I'm talking about fucking. I've got my two.
I do wash my hair. God damn it! I got a little bit. Look at this. Look at this.
All right, but you don't exactly have to spend a fortune on shampoo, do you? Let's be honest.
Oh, okay. We're just attack Anthony day to day.
I'm assuming. Like, here's what
I get it. I can't
grow
hair.
You take a bit of your wives and just slab it on, or do you have You don't have an in-depth hair care regime.
No. Did I just take some of my wife's?
Exactly, of course you do. That's all we ever do as guys. I'm always like, and why is it? I don't know about your wives, but my wife's shampoo and conditioner, isn't labeled shampoo and conditioner very, very clearly, and the both bottles are the same. I'm like
now I gotta fucking read.
Anyway.
Now I'm in here. I got a gun, and now I'm doing fucking math, and I gotta read. This is bullshit.
So you've taken a gun to the bathroom?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. You walk in, you drop your cakes, you pull your newspaper out, you put your pistol on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all feel, hey man.
For sure.
But I gotta be protected.
In the shower is weird,
I got to be protected when I was taking a dump.
You have to. All right, I got another funny story.
Vulnerable time.
I got another story.
Go on. I keep trying to get it back onto.
I know. I'm sorry. I got a great story.
But I want to hear it.
It's a good one. So speaking of taking a shit and a gun. So my dad, God rest his soul, he's gone.
God rest his soul.
When my parents were getting divorced, my dad was like messing around with my mom, right? And he was at this other lady's house, cheating on my mom. They get done doing the dirty, and he's in the bathroom taking a shit. Lady's fucking husband comes home. And so my dad is got his pants around his ankles, trying to climb out of this bathroom window to get out of the house. He's got the door locked, and dude is on the door just freaking out, trying to get to my dad. So my dad gets halfway out of the window. It's like one of those windows that's at the top of the ceiling. Yep. Halfway out of the window. So it's just his bare ass. And the dude shoots my dad twice in the ass cheek. I actually told this story yesterday.
No.
Dude shoots my dad in the ass, like just 2 rounds. Pop, pop, right in his ass cheeks.
Like a champ.
So then my dad, he falls out of the window. He runs away. He's got to go to the hospital. So he's got to call my mom. Like he's running through neighborhoods and like trying to find a phone. Calls my mom. My mom has to go pick up or go to the hospital and sit with her cheating husband, just thinking that he got shot in the ass, like just in the hood somewhere. And then she realizes he doesn't have any holes in his jeans. So then she starts putting the story. Anyways, long story short.
Had he been? Oh shit! So he's been shot, but no holes in the jeans.
There's no holes in the jeans because he's sitting on the shitter. Yeah. So then my mom started putting it together.
Sitting on the shitter.
Yeah, that's the problem.
A little rumpy pumpy.
You little rumpy pumpy. I'm so glad I got an opportunity to tell the believers that story because I told it yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I should tell that to the believers.
That's the best story ever. That outdoes anything I could ever say ever again. See, this is the true Anthony Smith. Now you're getting a little oiled up. Now you're talking about you found a dead body and you may or may not have killed him. But that was shot in the ass whilst having it off with some bird down the street. These are what we want to hear. These are what we want to hear. Do we want to hear one of Harrington's, or should we use that segue, which was a great segue, talking about Sean Strickland taking an AK-47 into the shower? He could have done with an AK-47 in his last fight against Alex Pereira. See that segue? See what
yes, I like that.
Bringing it back. I like that. Because Alex Pereira hits very hard. Yeah, connected with the left hook. And it's the same left hook that knocked out Israel Adesanya in the second match. Now, granted, this is a mixed martial arts contest and not a kickboxing fight. And both guys have progressed and changed over the years. But that said, Anthony, Who do you think wins this fight?
I'm going to go Israel Adesanya. I think he's going to stay safe. I think he's going to avoid the big shot. I think that he clinches on the big wild flurries. I think his takedown defense is good enough to feel comfortable. That Alex Pereira is not going to take. I mean, Derek Brunson couldn't do it. Robert Whittaker had a tough time doing it. Marvin Vettori couldn't do it consistently. I think the clinch and closing the distance on those explosions by Pereira and him being able just to disengage safely, I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, and I agree for the most part. Now, granted, there is a very good possibility that Pereira can do it, and I think he knows that. As we said before, though, Izzy was going at him in that second fight, and that's why he had the standing 8 count. So it's not like he can't fight fire with fire. But one thing I truly believe is that the footwork that Izzy, well, number one, always had, but the footwork that he's now had to acquire and improve, and that kind of footwork to avoid being taken down at the highest level in mixed martial arts. As you know, if you're a moving target, you can't shoot on somebody. They've got to be static. They've got to stay, so a lot of that is down to footwork, sticking and moving and all the rest of it. And Izzy does that fantastically. And I think all these years now, fighting at the top level and having that kind of approach, of course, he does go forward as well. He does unleash hell on his opponents when the time is right, and he does get knockouts. But also that defensive footwork that he has acquired, I think he's going to come in very, very handy for the stick and move approach, which is what I think is going to be the smart play here. And I think if I was to put money on it, of course I don't do that. Do you know what I mean? Because it opens all kinds of avenues for people, perhaps, putting on fake bets and all the rest of it. There's some kind of scandal going on with that at the minute. Would never make a joke about things like that. But yeah, that's what I'd say. Although there is a possibility. I think 70% of my pick is Adesanya, 30% is Pereira clips him, something like that.
Do you think take the size part of it out of it, like in Izzy's?
Well, no, they're both 6'4". Izzy has 80-inch, Pereira 79.
But he's a bigger man for sure.
Oh, Pereira's a bigger dude. Yeah. No, he's thicker. If
you were going to fight Pereira, what would be your play? Because I think I would have a different approach than Izzy's probably going to.
I
feel like I would get in his face right away and pressure him, because I think he's a different fighter backing up. Like Izzy's better than I am at being long and rangy and staying on the outside and being
Are you 6'4", Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 6'4",
so,
yeah.
Izzy's better at that game than I am.
What's your reach?
When you can't play 77.
77. So you're not far behind.
No. But maybe he's not, maybe it's not so much just the skill part of it. I just don't like fighting like that. So if I had a guy like Pereira that I was fighting, I would pressure him and just get right in his face the entire time. Because if you're at range, you have to be really, really good like Adesanya and be able to slip and duck and pull out, and you got to be able to counter fast and attack the legs, and you're constantly moving laterally, constantly. I hate fighting like that. I can't stand it. That drives me crazy. I love watching it, but I hate doing it. So if you just kind of fight fire with fire and get really close, I feel like if I was fighting Pereira, I would be better in tight in that dirty boxing, nasty, pulling on the head, kind of coming to one underhook, ripping punches to the body, constantly turning him. I just don't know if that's the type of fight. Like, that's how I would fight him. I think that would take him out of his groove. If someone's pressuring him and forcing him backwards.
I'd fight them both the exact same way, which would be the way that I fought Anderson Silva, who again is, you can draw some parallels, to their styles and whatnot, which was forward pressure in the pocket, take away the reach, take away the long straight shots, take away certainly the kicks as well. If you're in the pocket using boxing, trying to sprinkle in takedowns here and there to keep them guessing. But yeah, ultimately in their face, trying to put them on the back foot, having them up against the fence the whole time. So
that's how I would do it too.
Yeah. Let's talk about Chandler. Oh, go on.
It doesn't. We can move on. I was just wondering,
please.
Is that a game plan that you think one of those are going to try to implement on the other? Like maybe more so Pereira on Adesanya?
Yeah, I think Pereira was going to go forward. I think because when he knocked him out, he was going forward. It was a jab, right hand, left hook. And he's going to.
Well, he wasn't doing that well when Izzy was pushing him back either.
No, he wasn't. No, that is correct. And a lot of fighters are like that. It is a special talent to be able to fight well going backwards. Not everyone can do it. Some people can do it fantastically well. Other people struggle with it. And I think from what I've seen from Pereira, certainly in that second fight with Izzy, he wasn't doing well being backed up. So that might open the door, certainly give credence to thinking for Izzy and his team. Maybe you go forward, but the chance of going forward is that he might stop, he might meet you halfway, and then you end up in a firefight. So I think the smart bet is he's gonna take his time. He's gonna toy with his food, so to speak. He joked about it this week. He said, "Oh, I might just jab and leg kick him." I think he is going to be. I think he is going to do that for a while. You know what I mean? He's going to look for openings. He's going to download data, as they say these days. He's going to look for openings. There's going to be a long, strenuous feeling out process. I do think Pereira's going to push the pace, though, and it's going to get hairy a few times. But I think as the fight starts to progress, Adesanya will start potentially establishing a lead and will probably hang on to it throughout 5 rounds simply because he's done it at this level for so long. You know, and a little part
and missing makes you tired. And Pereira misses a lot.
Makes you frustrated as well. And then the more you're missing, the more you get frustrated, the more you start leaving bigger openings. It's such a fucking weird, the emotions. It's like when you're playing, I don't know if you ever play like FIFA. You ever play FIFA on the PlayStation? Of course you don't. You're not fucking English, are you? You know, like when you're playing football, right, you play John Madden, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you're playing a game on the computer and you start getting pissed off and you start getting annoyed, you start getting shitter and shitter. You
start playing like shit.
You start playing like crap. For those people that sit at home and play video games and have experienced this phenomenon, what I'm currently describing to you, it's the same in a fight. Do you know what I mean? You start having a bad day, a bad game, and you start falling apart mentally, and everything goes out the goddamn window. Right. Harrington or Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier talk. What do we think?
Maybe Harrington.
Harrington?
Maybe Harrington.
All right.
Oh, you just look like you just woke up. Okay.
Is that
you just wake up?
No, I'm good, man. I'm locked in. I was on the edge of my seat for which one you were gonna pick.
Did we bore you?
No,
edge
never.
of the seat. You're a little bit loud. Go on then, Harrington. What do you have, Bod?
Okay. I can't show bod anymore, remember?
You cannot.
A Utah man, right, got very frustrated that at first they would not allow him to pay for a same-day flight in cash. Then he eventually figured out a flight, but it got delayed. He got so mad, he went out to the passenger pickup lot, stole a car, just carjacked someone, proceeded to drive into 4 other cars to the point where his car would no longer run, then got out and stole another car. Then, as police were chasing him down, he crashed into another car and then tried to break into another car as police finally arrested him.
Right. So he tried to buy a plane ticket. They wouldn't allow him because it was too short notice. The plane was, the check-in process had finished or whatever. Then he goes outside, he robs a car, drives it for a while, trashes it, that breaks down, robs another one, continues to do so until arrested.
Yes, including the cops found him trying to flag down another car to steal it. Like they caught him in the act.
What do we think of this?
The airport's The airport's pissed me off a bunch of times, Mike.
Oh, me too.
I might steal a car and wreck it.
Oh, the airports. I mean, we've all had fiascos. I mean, Anthony, we all know your little faux pas with the guns recently. Come on. What's the latest on that? And by the way, ever since you said that, I wasn't aware of the taking the gun to the airport, going through security faux pas. I didn't realize it was a common thing. But ever since you said, I keep seeing stories about it on Twitter. The fines that have been accumulated this year for the United States of America, something like $30 million or something crazy like that. There's a lot of people doing it. So you're not on your own. But how did that all play out?
It hasn't really played out. I'm hoping that it just keeps going the way it's going right now because they haven't called. They haven't said anything. I did try to fly recently. Right. I was able to fly. They let me go to the airport.
That's good.
But they took my pre-check.
Bastards.
So now I'm back in the peasant line.
I've never had pre-check in my life for the amount that I fly. What does pre-check give you?
A free pass to the front of the line, and then you don't got to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your computer. You don't have to take your computer out of your bag.
Yeah, I don't think I can get it though because I had a criminal record. Because fucking in the UK, I don't have a criminal record because we have something called the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, and I never did anything bad, anything criminal. I had a few fights when I was younger, and I mean when I was younger, well over 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? But in the US, they don't recognize it. So all these little tiny little arrests that were nothing from when I was like 18, 16, stuff like that. I mean, 16, that's almost 30 goddamn years ago, sadly. 27 years ago. They still come up. You know what I mean? So I don't think I can get pre-check and stuff like that. Yes, it pisses me off.
I bet you can. I mean, I got in trouble and I got it, no problem.
Yeah, but you got the special passport, bro.
Yeah, I got the blue passport.
You haven't got the British.
What color is yours? Red?
Maroon.
So you gotta get that. You gotta get that blue one, bro.
I love a nice little. It's a blood tone of burgundy. So it's a classy, sophisticated looking passport.
I know, but you can't do shit with it here.
I can't do shit with it in the States. That's absolutely right. Oh, dear. You know what, Harrington? So he compiled all these stories. As we know, he does it every week. And he threw a few on here. And I was like, and I should have picked some different ones. I thought that one was a good one. But I thought it might be a segue for your troubles. I didn't want to be rude and bring them up. But he has here, a father in Dubai stopped lifeguards from saving his 20-year-old daughter's life as he'd rather her die than be touched by strange men. I'm like, Harrington, we can't discuss that. I mean, because that is, and then there's a bunch of others. A woman in Uganda was arrested for drugging and robbing men after getting them to suck on her laced nipples. Well,
her laced nipples? She was lacing her nipples with drugs?
Drug-laced nipples.
Yeah. Oh, I love this chick.
Hey, she's gangster. I'm not even mad at her. Fair play.
Not really. Like, if you can get him to suck on your nipples and it works, like you can have everything in my wallet.
Apparently, that's a common thing. I was talking to a cop in Vegas once. And he was telling me that. He said, not that this ever happens. It's not, I'm not always getting women don't, allow me to say, Michael, would you like to suck on my breast? It's not something that happens. But apparently that is one of their moves that they use. Yeah. They put some kind of concoction on the nipples. You suck it and you pass out and you wake up
and they rob you.
Robbed. Yeah.
That's impressive.
A friend of mine, an associate of mine, a friend of mine, he had a similar thing. He got spiked in Vegas just recently. He said he was at a bar and two people invited him over, a man and a woman. And the woman was like very outrageously flirting with him. And then the guy was like, oh, you like her and stuff. And I'm like, bro, that's a pimp. Okay. That's a pimp. Okay. He was a prostitute and that was a pimp. And he said they started buying drinks and all the rest of it. And the next thing he came to, he can't remember anything. His bank account has been emptied. And yeah, so I had to wire him a few $1,000s just to get through the rest of his time in Vegas. Won't say the name because he'll be embarrassed if I say it out loud, But anyway, let's get back. Michael Chandler.
I will say, Mike, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Good man. It was Harrington. It was.
Was it really?
No, was it fun? No.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I was like, because Harrington was just in Vegas. That'd have made perfect sense.
No, it was this guy.
You should have just went with that and said it was Harrington.
This guy that I know from Florida. He's a good dude, but it was not Harrington. All right, listen, if you're looking for a sexual performance enhancer, then Joy Mode really is the way to go. Listen, you can go to a gas station. You can buy some crap. You don't know what's in there. And there's going to be all kinds of crazy side effects like the stimulation perhaps lasting far too long. Or you can use Joy Mode, which makes natural and science-backed sexual wellness products for men. Their sexual performance booster is like a pre-workout basically, but it's for sex. The sexual performance booster is designed to support erection quality and firmness and sex drive, and it was created by best-in-class scientists with biochemistry PhDs. Wow, there we go. Also, as I say, it's all natural. It contains doses of L-citrulline, arginine, yoambine, and vitamin C. After taking the sexual performance booster, the natural ingredients will enhance sex drive, blood flow to the penis, resulting in a better performance. Okay, listen, you won't want to try this. If you're lacking, if you just want to have a good time, if you want to get better, if you want to level up, then you got to go to the website. The website is usejoymode.com/believe. Use the promo code believe. Anyway, Michael Chandler, we've got to talk about this. I am excited for this. Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier. This has all the makings, all the ingredients, two fighters that have brought nothing but excitement lately. I love Dustin Poirier. I'm such a fan. And listen, Michael Chandler, the violence that he has brought to the octagon since he was signed to the UFC has been second to none. This fight is absolutely guaranteed to be ballistic. What do you make of it?
Sometimes it seems almost unfair to sit down and talk real X's and O's about Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier. Like, we can talk about all the game plans and their skills and their techniques. And listen, both these guys can wrestle, both these guys can grapple. They got fireworks in their hands. But really what it comes down to is their intangibles and their willingness to just fucking throw down. And I don't suspect anything different is going to happen. I think obviously Michael Chandler's the better wrestler. I don't see him shooting a lot of takedowns. I think Dustin Poirier is going to have a willing participant in a good old fashioned fist fight. I don't see it any different. I think sometimes it's okay to just and I think this will be my approach on the desk. I could spend a lot of time breaking down the X's and the O's, but I don't think it's needed right now for this one. I think it's okay to just have a fight that we just want to. It doesn't really necessarily mean a whole lot in the division. Obviously, you can move forward.
Not if you ask Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier was saying this week, and I think Michael Chandler echoed the sentiments, and I kind of agree. They believe that whoever wins this has a real shot at getting the next title fight, because Volkanovski, of course, is going to be that guy. But if Islam beats him, there isn't a clear-cut contender at lightweight, and from 10 to 15 or even from 5 to 10, there's a lot of great new blood. There's Jalen Turner, there's Arman Saruki, and there's all these people, but they're not quite there just yet. Conor McGregor is out of action. Tony Ferguson, with respect, is not fighting for a belt anytime soon. Yes, there's Beneil Dariush. He called out Charles Oliveira. There's a potential that fight happens. I think because Islam hasn't fought any of these guys. That's why I think both of them were rubbing their hands going, ooh. As much as they respect Charles Oliveira, when Islam beat him, that opens the doors for every single guy at lightweight now to potentially get the next shot. So I think a big win here opens that door and potentially will be a title fight for Dustin or Chandler.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without being an asshole.
Just be an asshole.
The reward for doing really good media is you get more media, right? The reward,
reward,
right? The reward, that's what happens. Like, you're good at media, then you show up for fight week and you get a whole shit ton of more media because you're good at it. The reward for beating Michael Chandler for Dustin Poirier is the younger, better version of Habib. Like, good luck. Like, good luck.
Yeah, but you're right. But no one said becoming champion of the world is going to be easy. And don't tell me that Dustin Poirier doesn't believe in himself. Don't
he
tell
does.
Me that I'm
not saying I don't believe in them.
Don't believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe in both of those guys. I think both of those guys possess skills that match up well there. A little bit. But we just seen what fuck it. I mean, I think they need more. I think it's going to take more than one. I think it should take more than one.
Chandler 2-2, Ferguson and Dan Hooker. There is wins, But the loss to Gage was just ridiculous. It was the fight of the year. I mean, the man has been a show stopper since Chandler signed with the. And have you
dude, and I don't want to take anything away from him. That's not what I meant to do.
No. And you're not saying anything.
To me,
you're
the
just
fight
saying
doesn't matter.
That you disagree. You're not saying anything bad. Or you're saying that you disagree that this will be potentially an unofficial title eliminator.
Oh, it probably is. I'm not disagreeing with that part. I just don't give a shit about that. It's
neither do I as a fan, but for them.
For them it's very important. But like, as far as where they stand in the rankings, who's next for a title, who's ranked here, who's better at strike, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. And I think sometimes that's okay. I guess that's my point. For us as fans, I think this is one of those fights where who gives a shit about all the outside noise? Let's just enjoy some like good old fashioned fist fighting by two guys that are down to get down. That's how I look at it. And I know that people are probably going to want to have the same conversation. Well, this person's there for none of those between those three guys, there isn't one of those matchups that intrigue me more than Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier. Like Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev doesn't really intrigue me that much, and neither does Michael Chandler versus Makhachev. But Poirier and Chandler together, that's something I'm in for.
Adam Catcher from BT Sport, he described it as two frogs in a blender. You know, that's what it's going to be like, you know, and he's right because they are all out violence. I think Chandler probably possesses the harder one-punch power. I think Poirier has the better boxing and footwork. I think Chandler has probably the better wrestling, probably a little physically stronger because, you know, the shorter, was more of a squatter type build, you know, he's shorter and stockier, you know. So, yeah, I give strength, wrestling, probably power to Chandler. I give boxing, footwork to Poirier. You know, I don't know if it does hit the ground. I think we might see Chandler mixing a few takedowns here and there. But for the most part, there is a very, very good possibility that it kind of resembles Chandler versus Gagey, although I don't think Poirier is as reckless as what Gagey is. You know what I mean? That's why Gagey is the human highlight reel by name and by style. And it'd be hard to replicate that kind of performance 2 years in a row, same weekend, same arena, one of the same fighters. The odds of that happening again, it probably won't, but it is still going to be an incredibly exciting fight. Who you got winning?
I'm not sure that I've ever picked against Poirier, but this might be one of those times.
Ooh, baby.
Chandler's just so explosive.
Bet, Anthony.
You want to bet on it?
I mean, we'll bet on it.
Well, I mean, given the email that I received last week in my UFC promotional guidelines amendment, I am no longer allowed to wager on UFC fights. Michael,
but that's quite all right, because what we're going to do here is a fun bet. It will be a token of appreciation. We will not be betting monetary things. Okay. There will be a forfeit for the loser.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we forfeiting?
I don't know. We'll let the believers come up with it. We'll do a little poll or something. We'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah. We should
Whoever
do a poll.
loses the bet. Whoever loses the bet. Harrington or Brian come up with 4 topics, 4 things, and whichever one gets the most votes, then that's what we do. Okay?
Yeah, we should. Then I'm gonna go Michael Chandler.
And I'm gonna go Dustin motherfucking Poirier, hot sauce baby, in your face.
I need some Poirier hot sauce too.
Sticking it up your dad's ass. Sorry, probably too soon.
Wow, Jesus Christ! He's got bullet holes. God damn it!
Oh shit! Oh god! But it's not a confident pick. That's how good of a fight.
I'm not confident either.
That's how good of a fight that is. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. Come on then, Harrington. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
There's that horse shit that Bisping's got going on.
What's going on here? This is a lot.
Come on. What have you got for us? Who's a good boy? Good boy, Harrington. Anyway, yes. Sorry.
Okay. You want non-MMA?
Ask Anthony.
Anthony, MMA, non-MMA.
MMA. Let's go MMA.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to say that because between Pereira versus Adesanya and Chandler versus Poirier, there's a fight that hasn't been getting talked about quite that much this week. Carla Esparza versus Zhang Weili. I don't know if you saw Zhang Weili. Did you see?
Continue. I know where this is going. Yes.
I mean, she is freakishly strong. I don't know how she's allowed to compete at 115 pounds. Brian, if you want to pull up a video of just how strong she is, here she is interacting with the current heavyweight champion of the world, picking him up like he's a sack of potatoes. Absolutely no problem. How does Carla Esparza hang with somebody who she can pick up 265 pounds that easily?
I could do that. Yeah, it's not impressive.
You don't fight at 115 pounds, Anthony.
If I did, I'd be the champion of the world.
Oh, you would. That's
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Right, hold on. Right, so listen. Lucas, come here, buddy. Right, we're gonna give a little demonstration. This is Lucas.
What up, dude?
Bisping. He's a young lad. Here, just put that in your head for a second. He does not weigh 115 pounds. I don't know. What do you weigh?
I weigh like 120 something.
Right. Well, that's Zhang Weili. not in camp. What Harrington doesn't understand. What he doesn't understand is, and you know this, Anthony. This is Anthony Smith, by the way, one of the best fighters in the world.
We were at the fights together one time in Anaheim.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You came up. You probably don't remember him. You met a lot of people. You were freaked out. But Anthony, you know this. When we're training for fights, you pick people up like that, don't you? As like a warm up routine and all the rest of it. And when the person that's getting picked up leans over, it makes it very easy to pick them up. Like watch this now with Ngannou. If he leans forward like that, it makes it easy. If they stand upright, like some people do, it makes it damn near impossible. Now, we're going to take the headphones out. We're going to give a little demonstration. All right, Lucas, do not make a fool out of me. You're going to pick me up. Now go down. Right, I'm going to lean and pick me up. Okay.
It's definitely easier.
Do it again. Squat down. Right now, don't drop me this time.
Okay, I didn't mean to.
2, 1.
Get him! There we go.
Oh, I thought my back cracked.
Oh well, you'll be all right. Get out of here. Podcast is going off the reins.
The
You
best.
do some squats. What are you gonna say?
Oh, the best part of that is you'd make it a point and then having to pick him up off the ground.
Yeah, no, he
dropped you.
He literally collapsed underneath my massive girth. I mean, I am a huge man.
You are correct though. Like my 11-year-old will mess around all the time and she'll pick me right up off my feet. And I'm 230 pounds. She's 11 years old.
Well, your 11-year-old girl is clearly stronger than my 12-year-old boy.
Oh, she's probably bigger than he is.
Yeah. And you're probably heavier than I am as well. What do you weigh right now?
230.
230. I'm like
235. 238.
Something like that.
241.
But that is impressive, though. That is impressive. Zhang is very, very strong. I think. Look, listen, I'm not as excited about this fight. It's going to be a great fight. I love watching Zhang Weili. Last time Carla's fight, it was not a classic. We all know that. But Carla's had a great career. She is on a 6-fight win streak. She's beaten some great competition, like a Marina Rodriguez that was in action at the weekend.
Right.
We'll get to those fights shortly. But, I think he's going to have a tough time Saturday night with Zhang Weili. Zhang is just far more ferocious, hits harder, knocked out Joanna Jędrzejczyk with the spinning back fist in the last fight. I struggle to find a way. Of course, last note, the way for Carla is to wrestle her and to take her down and control her. That's how she wins the majority of her fights. That's always her go-to weapon. But I think she's going to struggle implementing that game plan with Zhang Weili.
Yeah, Carla wins a lot of fights because she's just more physical. She's stronger. She's a better wrestler. She just has that physicality, and I don't think she has those advantages in the Zhang Weili fight. I echo. And listen, I always hate talking.
Did you see what I just did?
No, what'd you do?
Thank God. Well, beyond the thing, I just coughed. A bit of like spittle came out of my mouth. I had to suck it back in real quick. I'm like, did anyone notice that?
Well, maybe Brian will just cut you out or put an emoji on your face.
Just put like something over there, Brian, because otherwise it's going to haunt me for years. Sorry, you were saying, Anthony.
When I talk about Carla Esparza fighting, I feel like I'm talking a lot. It's very similar to how I talk about Katlyn Chookagian. Really, really sweet. Really enjoy watching them fight. Really appreciate their style. They just don't always wow the crowd or is the most fan appealing style and not always the best matchup. So although it's a very hard style to deal with, they win most of the time because they're very good at what they do. It's hard to, like you talk about Katlyn Chookagian versus Valentina Shevchenko. Like, I'm a fan of everything that Katlyn Chookagian does. I just can't see a way that she wins. I'm a fan of everything that Carla Esparza does in the way that she fights. I just don't see how she beats Zhang Weili.
Yeah. I just think
it always sounds like you're shitting on her, and I'm not. Because
exactly.
I like her. She's a sweetheart. She's
a 2-time champion.
She's beat Rose twice.
Rose twice. Became champion of the world twice. Not defended it. Became champ. Lost it. Worked her way back. Became champion again. That right there is a true world-class competitor. In fact,
Some I haven't done even once.
That's what I'm saying. And I was never able to do it. Do you know what I mean?
You got to give her credit. It's just, this is a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup.
Yeah. I think Zhang Weili is, and styles do make fights. And that Rose Namajunas fight, I think she had some mental block and some fear of the wrestling that affected the way Rose fought. I don't believe Zhang Weili is going to be affected by that kind of mind control, if you will, from the Jedi mind tricks of the wrestling coming from Carla. And I think she's going to go forward. Will Carla get it down throughout 5 rounds? No doubt she will at some point. But I think she will have worked hard on her get-ups. I think she's going to struggle to take it down. And I think while they're on the feet exchanging blows, Zhang Weili hits really hard. She can take a shot. Look at that first fight with Joanna. I mean, what an absolute slugfest. Fight of the year
she's
as well.
willing to.
She's willing to. She's willing to do that. Yeah. Look at the way she beat
She'd rather do that.
I called the fight in Shenzhen, China against Jessica Andrade, you know, when she became the champion. She annihilated.
Like, you're more violent than Andrade. You're scary.
Yeah, correct. Correct. You know, and then last time to spinning back fist Jan Jacek and knock her out like that, face plant her. Oh.
I think the Andrade fight is probably her most impressive performance to me, because she stood across from the most violent female fighter I think we might have in the UFC, and then just decided to draw a line in the sand and meet her in the middle and let's just do this damn thing.
Stacker.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is when you put it like that, because she is.
That's crazy.
Andrade is violent, man.
Yeah, and uber aggressive.
I love the way she fights. I love watching.
I love it.
And she's such a sweetheart as well. I mean, I don't know what she's like in her normal life, but in interviews and stuff, she looks like a little Justin Bieber lookalike, isn't she? You know what I mean? Definitely looks like a female Justin Bieber for sure.
For sure.
But the way she fights, man, unbelievable. And Zhang Weili met her head on. I took her out there pretty quickly.
And won that game.
Yeah.
Not too many people could say that. People have beat Andrade, but they haven't beat her at her own game.
No. Ooh, that's a good fight as well. What else is on there? Opening the card.
What do we got?
UFC 281 and going down. Whatever, who cares? What are the opening 2 fights?
I believe it's Dan Hooker versus Claudio
Puelles.
Puelles. There we go.
Guys, listen, in the South American languages, they don't pronounce the L's as an L. It's Puelles. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you nailed it. I'm sorry for getting it wrong, guys.
Puelles.
And then the other fight on the main card, Frankie Edgar in his retirement fight versus Chris Gutierrez.
We got to talk about Frankie, man. We got to give Frankie some love. 15 years in the UFC, fighting the best people. Best people constantly. Lightweight champion, fought a who's who at 145, came down to 135. All right. I think his last 2 fights, was it Sandhagen and Marlon Vera?
Yeah.
Might have been. He lost them both via knockout, sadly. But when you've had that many fights, that's part of the reason why he's retiring. The chin, the human body, the mind, whatever you want to, where you want to put it. We can only take so much. And he's at the end of that road. That doesn't mean he can't go out there and have that romantic send-off that he is picturing in his mind that I wanted in the UK. That's why I was going to have one last fight in London. I wanted to walk out there, my home crowd, you know what I mean? And that was, you romance it in your mind. I was going to come out potentially to Frank Sinatra, My Way, do you know what I mean? And then a bit of Song 2, whatever. And he's from Jersey, fighting at Madison Square Garden, one of the best arenas, legendary arenas on planet Earth. But I tell you what, God bless him. He's got a tough fight. Because who's he fighting again?
Chris Gutierrez.
I was going to say Grits.
Katikas. That's what we're calling him.
He's tough, man.
It's one of my. Yeah, I trained with him for a long time.
Oh shit! I mean, he's got good kicks, good calf kicks.
Yeah, everyone at the gym calls him Katikas because that's what Mark has been calling him because it's easier to say than Gutierrez. So Katikas. That's what we're calling him.
All right.
Fantastic kicker.
Yeah.
I've never this isn't me speaking in absolutes and exaggerating. I've never been in there and been in front of someone that's a better kicker than he is.
Really?
And I've been in there, and I've trained with Wonder Boy and some of the best kickers in the game. I used to, I don't know, maybe 3 fights ago, after every striking practice, I'd spend about 30 minutes with him, and him walking me through and coaching me through different kicks and movements and ways to attack it, and his walking me through his it's a whole system. It's not just he's just really good at it. Like he's got a whole system that he walks back and forth through. Really good takedown defense. Really good off his back. He's got good stand-ups. The one shining positivity for Frankie Edgar is Gutierrez doesn't have firework power in his hands. Can he hurt people? For sure. I think any man that's a grown-up has the ability to knock somebody out. But that's not really his game. He's very mobile. He's very active, high volume, amazing kicking game, switches stances, fades off off the center line really well. He can definitely knock you out with a kick. But I think the one positive part there is that Frankie doesn't necessarily have to contend with the power in his hands as much as he has some of these other guys.
But last time, Frankie Edgar, Madison Square Garden, this time last year, Chito Vera, front kick to the face,
right,
resulted in Edgar unconscious. So it is a worry. You know, if you're in the camp of Frankie Edgar, because I look at Chris Gutierrez on my commentary notes here. I have all kinds of fight breakdowns and stuff like that, but I have the hype train at the beginning just in case I get brain fart. Unbeaten since 2018. Highlights show excellent kicks. Loves the calf kick. Outside the UFC, was destroying people with kicks. Excellent takedown defense. Loves the spinning wheel kick to the flying knee. Slick grappling transitions. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good one.
It's a tough fight for Frankie.
Gutierrez is your guy, so of course you can't go against him. I don't expect you to, but I'm just going to throw it out there into the world. I hope Frankie Edgar can finish on a high, get a win. May the best man win, of course.
If he does, he deserves it. Like this is the fight game. He is my guy, but at the end of the day, it's still Frankie goddamn Edgar. And if there's any negative here for Chris, is he's been taken down and controlled before and gone to draws and lost fights because of it. So if anybody in the world can do it, it's Frankie Edgar. You know what I mean? If Frankie can consistently get takedowns and close him down and shut down the transitions, that's how Frankie wins. And if he doesn't win, it's going to be him trying to catch Gutierrez and not being able to.
We'll move on in just a minute, but I'm just looking at Frankie Edgar's Wikipedia page here. Record of 24-10, only 34 pro fights. Feels like he had more than that. Sadly, lost 4 out of his last 5. Met Vera Sandhagen in his last 2. Beat Pedro Munoz by split decision. Chang Sung Jung, and then Max Holloway. Before that, beat Cub Swanson. Then it was Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens, Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes, Uriah Faber, Cub Swanson, BJ Penn, Charles Oliveira, which he actually has a win over, Benson Henderson, Gray Maynard, BJ Penn, Notice what I'm saying here? These are all top of the food chain fighters.
Those are all legends. How many Hall of Famers are in there?
Sean
5 or 6?
Shirk, Hermes Franca, Gray Maynard, Spencer the Kingfisher, remember him? But look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got Shirk. I mean, he was an old school guy, the Muscle Shark.
Former champion.
BJ Penn, Gray Maynard, that's 2 former champs. Benson Henderson, former champ. Jose Aldo, former champ. Charles Oliveira, former champ. BJ Penn once again. Uriah Faber, former champ. Chad Mendes, I don't know if he was a former champ. He was a mini champ. He was a title contender, so he was, because mini Chad Mendes, Jeremy Stevens, Jair Rodriguez. I'm going to run out of fingers in a minute. You get the point.
Right.
Brian Ortega. I mean, what a fucking legend.
Almost all those guys are either former champions, title contenders, or like number 1 contender type guys.
Top of the food chain guys. His entire.
And we didn't even get to like Jose Aldo and Holloway and all the guys here at the end. Like
exactly. No, the man's a legend. And you know what? When you meet and talk to Frankie Edgar, have you chatted to him a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's just how you think he would be. Super nice guy. super down to earth, no airs and graces, no big head about him, just a hard-working, normal family guy. Fucking love him. Wish him the best this weekend. But may the best man win. All right, should we let Harrington throw some MMA stuff at us? Harrington, and then we'll get out of here real soon. How much time you got, Anthony? You okay for a minute?
I got a couple minutes. I got to go to my kids got one of those. It's a Veterans Day program. They do in 2 days. We did one this morning and one this afternoon. It's pretty cool. They sing this like Veterans Day kind of salute thing. It's pretty cool.
That is
I got a few minutes. Yeah.
Do you know, I do. Yeah, we won't keep you too long. I do like the way you guys do honor the veterans in this country. It's not quite the same in the UK. They don't get quite, I mean, they do, you know, there is respect for them, but it's definitely up a notch here. So I do like that. All right, let's just talk about manscaped.com. Manscaped, you know the drill by now. They are the world's leader in below the waist grooming. Obviously, you can trim your meat and veg without, doing yourself a mischief, without injuring you, without cutting your balls, without bleeding. Okay, all that is a thing of the past with the Manscaped. They are currently on the 4.0. Obviously, that is their latest iteration. And right now, they are offering the Performance Package 4.0. Of course, in that, you get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. It's got the skin-safe technology. It's got the faster engine. It's waterproof. It's got a light. You can drop it on the floor. I don't know. You probably make phone calls off the goddamn thing. It's so good. But with it, you will also get the Weed Whacker and the ear and nose hair trimmer. You get the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. You get the Crop Reviver Toner. You get the Performance Boxer Briefs and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the perfect Christmas present to get the man that you need or know in your life. Your dad, your uncle, your brother, your mother. Hey, she could use it as well. But you can get the Sheer 2.0 kit. If you know someone with messed up toenails, well, then this is the kit that they need. Stainless steel toenail cutters, tweezers, grooming scissors, basically everything you need to take care of your feet. So ask yourself this, Christmas around the corner. Do you know someone that probably needs to groom below the waist, needs to shave their penis? Boom, 4.0 package, performance, get it. Or you know someone with manky feet. Well, there it is. Take care of the feet with a Sheer 2.0 kit. It is everything you need at the best possible price because you go to manscaped.com right now. You use the code Bisping20. You will get 20% off and free shipping. I mean, come on. Any males that you know in your life, uncle, brother, I don't know, mother, we'll say that. Just get them the bloody present. Manscaped.com, Bisping20. That's the code, 20% off. We've done the Sean Strickland. Harrington, jump on, buddy.
Okay. Okay. So this I thought was kind of interesting. Sean O'Malley posted a video of him listening to Bryce Mitchell in an interview predicting the O'Malley versus Yan fight. Mitchell predictably picked Yan. O'Malley, right, simply responded at the end of the video saying his father's banged his sister to create Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell responded saying, he called me inbred. I'm going to deal with that when I see him. Now, he's going to have to move up. I'm sure he needs to. He needs to move up a weight class, and I believe we're going to clash. He can pick how he wants to, but he's going to lose.
So is he saying that it's on site? Is he saying he's going to fight him in the streets or in the octagon?
He just said when he sees him, he's going to deal with him. But he does think that eventually is going to come a point where O'Malley's going to have to move up to featherweight. So he'd like to handle it in the cage if possible.
All right, never mind that. What do you think? Do you think O'Malley was out of line saying that?
Yeah.
What did he say? He said that
he's inbred. His dad and his sister made Bryce Mitchell.
Kind
of fucked up. Yeah,
it is fucked up.
Yeah.
But
well, and people from Arkansas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana.
But they bang their sisters?
No, but some of them do, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I mean, like even some of the Midwest states get some of that, like Oklahoma. Yeah. Like I don't think I've ever heard about Nebraska, but like the southern kind of more country, hick states.
Yeah.
Get that. Like people from there get real mad when you start talking about it.
That's like where I'm from. Like people from Liverpool, Scousers, they call us woolly-backs because we're out in the sticks. And there's a lot of sheep. They call sheep shaggers and woolly backs and stuff like that.
Sheep shaggers and woolly
yeah, sheep shaggers and woolly backs. It's right up there with yard
sheep,
pimps and
sheep
glizzies.
shaggers and woolly backs.
Yeah, that is not.
Now listen,
the name
Michael,
of
this
today's
is
episode.
that's exactly where I was going. Listen, Michael, I know that this is your podcast. Your name's on the front of it, but
Sheep
if I had any suggestions on a
I don't know what
title.
platform owns YouTube, but they don't really share things with the algorithm when the title is Sheep Shaggers and Woolly Backs.
Sheep Shaggers, Woolly Backs.
Bryce Mitchell, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Seems like a bad matchup for O'Malley, let's be honest. Love Sean, of course.
Yeah, could be. I don't know why he says he's going to move up, though. Like,
He's
why
not
would he
going to
move
move
up? Yeah, why would he?
Because he's big for the division, but he seems to make weight no problem. I've never heard any kind of rumors,
never heard any struggles or anything.
Stories. Never heard, the weight cut was gruesome. O'Malley's very professional, shows up on weight.
And he's lean. He is big, but he's a skinny little guy.
He's not gargantuan. He is. He's very, very lean. Yeah. He's got a good frame for it, though. Yes, Hamilton with a finger up.
He did say in an article published September of this year, he anticipates eventually making the move up to featherweight.
Yeah.
Sheep Shaggers and Woolly Backs.
Anthony likes that one, don't you?
I'm going to call someone a sheep shagger today.
Yeah, do it. Listen, you sheep shagger. You know when it will. Nah, never mind. Goats will eat most things. Goats will eat most things. Let's just leave it like that. And they will suck on things as well.
Oh, that's disgusting.
There's
always there was always this joke.
I've heard stories. This is where I was going to go. There's a couple of small town people know everyone, everything. I've never experimented with such a phenomenon. But
never with a goat.
Do. Never with a goat.
No.
I am the goat. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, obviously we're going to come back with another show on Thursday, and we're going to get to some of the other UFC 281 talking points. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of mixed martial arts. Harrington did a great job with the notes, but we've been waffling on. There was great fights at the weekend as well. Shout out to, pardon me. Hold on, it's coming back. Don't say anything. Amanda Lemos defeating Marina Rodriguez in the first round, I believe. Oh, no, round 3, 54 seconds. Neil Magny got the job done against Daniel Rodriguez. Beat GSP. He has the most wins in the welterweight division, so well done to him. Shalom Nerdenbecker beat Derek Minner, create a bit of a storm. We'll maybe stay away from that one for now. But if you have any, so congrats to everyone that fought at the weekend. If you have any questions for me or Anthony, Hamilton or Brian for that fight, but just pretend I didn't say that last part. Send them into bympod@gmail.com. Brian, what do we have, my friend? Harrington.
Before we get to that,
butt yourself in. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys are enjoying this on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure to subscribe to the show on there. Leave us a 5-star rating, positive review. It helps the show out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel and you hit that notification bell to find out whenever new videos drop. Also, if you're in the live premiere, just hit that like button. It really helps us out with those likes in the first hour. And if you want to catch over 400 episodes now you can't find anywhere else, ad-free and uncensored, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code DYM. Get a 7-day free trial.
Hey. Harrison, you're going to set this one up because I don't even want to say it because it's very... I don't think I want to... Do we even want to go there? Have you seen what's going on with Colby Covington and Polyana Viana?
Is that what she said, that he likes his butt being fingered?
Is this real?
Is that real?
Because I don't really
I seen the Twitter account.
Same.
Is that really her Twitter account?
I don't know because
it's not verified.
No, and listen, I don't want to even say it because it could be insulting to A, Colby, and B, Polyana, and obviously I'm a UFC commentator.
Well, I mean, like, if he likes it, who gives a fuck?
Some people like a finger up the ass. So what?
Yeah, that honestly, when I read it, like, I was like, so what? Like, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, bro. I don't give a shit.
Well, exactly. We don't care what he does in his
personal life. He can still fight his ass off. So, like, if he wants to go home afterwards and get a finger in the butt,
literally fight his ass off.
Who gives a like? I guess maybe I'm a little bit weird about, like, I just don't give a shit what you do in your personal life. Like, as long as you show up and you fight the shit out of somebody and fight the way he fights, you want to get a finger in your butt when you get back home? All right, cool.
I support you.
I support you.
And that's a mature thing to say, because I absolutely agree. Let's be honest. We might have a laugh and have a couple of stupid little cheap jokes.
Yeah, like I'll joke about it.
Yeah, which is essentially very immature. But still, there could be a few jokes in there. But yeah, you're right. I couldn't care. What someone brings to the octagon is what I care about. Of course, if they're acting like an asshole, if they're not a good person, then it's going to be hard to support them. But what you do at night with your lady, as long as it's all consensual, who gives a flying F? You know what I mean?
Like I have I think that's a great point, actually, Michael. Like, I have a way bigger issue with some of the things that he said to people before, than I would ever have with what he does in his personal life. Like, I much rather I criticize the shit out of him for talking about Masvidal's wife and kids, but like, I don't really give a shit what he does in his personal life. I don't care.
A lot of people still say that he didn't say anything bad about, because Colby has a lot of fans. Obviously, I think playing into the whole Trump thing as well, he's got a lot of very, very loyal supporters, because I interviewed him for BT Sport and he essentially confirmed that he did say that. He said, I never lied, though. I never said anything that wasn't true. And I was like, it's all right. So, some people might say that's kind of off the table. And
it's low hanging fruit for me. Like, yeah, it's like, just leave the family, and like people that don't, maybe it is true. I don't know. But if it is, I don't think it's your position to bring in someone who's uninvolved in your situation. Like,
just real quick before we get to the questions, which we are just about to do, because I know we haven't got too much time, either of us. He's got bigger things to worry about than Polyana Viana saying that he might like a finger up his ass. Khamzat Chimaev. You think he's going to take this fight?
I think he's going to enjoy the finger in the ass more than he might enjoy that fight.
Hey, we've all been there.
I think he takes it, though. I don't think Colby's afraid of anybody.
I don't think so at all. There's a lot of people speculating, like Bilal Muhammad. Of course, he has his reasons for saying that. Right. He wants the Khamzat fight. He probably wants the Colby fight. I don't think Colby Covington he's got no reason.
He's afraid of any of them.
No.
And right now, it's the perfect time for Colby. If he gets a win, as long as Leon Edwards is still champion, he's got a really great opportunity to get his ass in there.
Listen, it's a tough fight for both men, that rematch between Leon and Kamaru. But you better bet your ass, pardon the pun, with the current conversations, that he's hoping that Leon does it again, because
he needs Leon to win.
That opens that door for.
And that's a great matchup. That's a great matchup for Colby too.
It's a great matchup for Leon as well.
Yeah.
Leon's
it's a better matchup for them. Them with each other is a better matchup than either one of them with Usman.
Yeah. No, it makes it interesting if Leon can hang on to the belt. There's some really fun, interesting fights. Because not that it's not fun when Kamaru was there, but it's the same with Izzy. It was the same with Anderson, the same with Kamaru. When you get a champion that sits on the throne for so long, you know what I mean? It just doesn't take away the excitement, because all the fights are always exciting. But it's fun when a new king comes along, so to speak. Anyway, all right, so we went off on a tangent. Brian, what do we got, buddy?
All right, so first question here is from Kiki.
Oh, Kiki. Long time.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Bisping, Anthony, Brian, and Harrington. This is Kiki with another video question. So my question is, Anthony, how's your leg holding up? And it leads to my main question of what's the most devastating injury you guys have had in your career? Obviously, Bisping with your eye, but is there another one you can think of where maybe it set you back or it was a little demotivating to continue fighting? I greatly appreciate it. You guys are rocking on the show. Have a good day. Have a good week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Kiki. We love you. Nice to hear from you. Anthony, the floor is yours.
I don't know that I've ever had anything really devastating. Lots of things. Some of the things are easier to take care of and deal with than others. I have found in the last couple years that lower body injuries have been tougher for me to come back from than others, and that could be some of it's my age. It could be just the miles or whatever. But my last knee injury, after I fought Ryan Spann, then I got the staph infection. That was a tough one to come back from. It just the rehab and the atrophy and getting my balance back and getting my quad to fire and kind of getting the nerves to start firing again. That was a tough one. But yeah, I've had multiple hand surgeries, which are always a pain in the ass. But the lower body stuff so far has been tough.
Yeah. For me, I mean, obviously the eye would be straight away. So outside of that, I think when I did my neck, you know, you see the scar there. They want to do that a couple more times. So I'm still in pain. But I remember I went for a takedown on someone, got the takedown. But when I hit the ground, my head hit the floor and took two people's body weight, you know, and I just instantly, it was like an electrocution. But I was like paralyzed. And the fucking pain was just ridiculous. Oh, yeah. And that lasted so long. And like my entire right side has atrophied still to this day. It's not as strong as my left side, even though I was left-handed dominant anyway. But like for a while, just when I threw a punch, it was like I was punching through sand or water or something. I could throw it a few times, but then it would just slow down and tense up. It was really, really bad. I don't know why I didn't get surgery earlier, but that was a bad one. The wrestling, man, the wrestling. Yeah. And not to mention, I currently have a broken back. Did I tell you this, Anthony?
You did.
I have a broken back. Carrying this podcast.
This podcast, carrying the movie. You're just doing too much.
Carrying everything. We would ask Harrington, but, you know, the extensive fight career that Harrington's had, we could be here all day. We could be here all day. Brian just comes on and shakes his head.
So we have a question. It's just an audio question, this one, and it's from Fuck Harrington. That's who it's from.
Oh, okay.
Hello, this is Gaz from the northeast of England. Big shout out to Mikey B, DJ Mikey B, legend over here in England. Hello to Anthony Smith. Good to hear you coming out your shell a bit. Maybe you were a bit too much of a nice guy to start with, but we're going to break that now anyway.
We've fucking broken it.
My question is there any chance that the UFC will pitch a male fighter versus a female fighter? And I ask this because on the back of Aljo being on the show last week, who is probably the most disliked champion in the UFC, he's a proper prick. But I would love to see Amanda Nunes smash his face in. They're the same weight, or they can be the same weight. Why can't we see Amanda Nunes smash Aljamain Sterling to pieces? That's my question. Once again, thanks to the Cyclops. That is Michael Bisping. Thanks, Anthony Smith. You make this podcast mint. Harrington, fuck you and your baby. I'm out.
Harrington, hey man, fuck you and your baby. What do you say to him? He's just throwing in a question from the northeast.
Brian, can we track that IP address? Let's find out where he's at.
I'm not that much of a fancy man, but I know somebody who is.
But let's do this because I'd be intrigued. The people from the northeast of England are not to be trifled with. You know, I would be very curious to know what your approach would be. But seriously, he just besmirched your unborn baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I want to. All right, when we do the live show in England, all right, we're doing me versus Brian slap boxing. I want to box this guy. I just want to. We're
going.
Well, Booger Beard about fucked you up, so I don't know if you start picking fights with people.
If you ask Booger Beard or if you watch his Twitter, he slipped in his own blood after brutalizing Harrington and couldn't get back up.
So we've been talking about this. We are going to do a live BYM in the UK. Harrington and Brian are going to slapbox live on stage, and we're going to come up with all kinds of stuff. We're going to figure out a good time. I mean, March with the UFC in London would be a good time to do it, maybe the Thursday before or something like that. But we're going to put this together. We're doing it. We're coming to the UK. We're going to do some live shows, all four of us. So that'll be something to look forward to. So this guy, if you're there, we're going to fucking find you, man. And Harrington's going to do you in, like. What do you reckon to what he said, though?
I think, no, it's silly. No, I mean, the UFC is definitely never going to do it. But
intergender. Let's just for the sake of, just for a conversation, Aljamain Sterling, Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes would get murdered.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put a bit of respect on Aljo's name. You know what I mean?
just don't like saying it.
No, I don't like saying it either because it sounds very sexist. Yeah. It sounds very dismissive to the great Amanda Nunes because she is great. You know what I mean? And I am a huge fan of her.
We'll let Brian say it.
Brian, say it, man.
I mean, come on. Any dude is probably in the UFC is probably going to be able to beat up Amanda Nunes.
Harrington versus Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes definitely finishes Chase Hooper.
Maybe. Maybe.
I can't get into this argument. I work for the UFC. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, whoa. But Harrington. Although I can't, it's like we're being silly, but you know.
Yeah, I give myself maybe 12 seconds. Maybe.
Good.
If I'm lucky. If I'm really feeling my chin that day.
It's a 10-second round. Or 10-7. It's a 10-7 round.
Quick. Do we have one more,
Anyway.
Brian?
So we have one more, and I checked to see if this one came in before, and I didn't see it. But I'm pretty sure we had a very similar question. But let's just see if I get yelled at in the chat.
All right, okay.
What's up, Mike, Anthony, Brian, and Harrington? This question is for all four of you. So Dana getting into the slap fighting business has got me thinking, what two UFC fighters would you like to see compete in slap fighting? Personally, I'd like to see Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena finish off their trilogy, slapping the shit out of each other. Love the show, guys. Peace.
So that's interesting. He's not saying, we did have a question that was similar. What kind of big guys will be picked? I think we said Ngannou or all similar type of heavy hitting guys like Derek Lewis. But that's an interesting one there. What two people that maybe aren't going to fight again, but have history, maybe an unsettled score, or maybe a score to settle, like Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena. That's a good example. What do you think? I'd love a good slap match with Tim Kennedy. I tell you that. Fucking slap the shit out.
We might be able to make that happen.
Yeah,
but here's my question: is any professional fighter going to stand there and get hit?
Yeah.
If that's the rules, 1,000,000%. You know why?
Fair.
Because it's the same thing in fighting. They're not going to pull away and be bitched out by the intimidation of taking a slap, Anthony.
I'm going to take that shit. Like a man. I would love to see Michael Bisping in his rubber match with Dan Henderson.
Not Rockhold?
Nah, I kind of feel bad for him lately.
Me too. Henderson.
Why'd you say it like that? You went, me too.
No, because it's like no. He even commented on one of my Instagram posts the other day. Rockhold's all right. I like.
Yeah,
him.
he grew on me a little bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Some of his media stuff. And
everyone's a Rockhold fan after that last fight.
Yeah, that last fight was epic.
Yeah, that's all you got to do is just not be a douchebag and fight like that, and I'm a fan.
And he's
but Dan Henderson can't. But he can't even straighten his arm.
Rockhold's in the gym. He's fighting. He's gonna fight. He's coming out of retirement. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but he's
who's he gonna fight?
I don't know. He's in the fucking gym now. No, if I did that, I wouldn't do slap boxing because this eye is already on the verge of fucking losing function, and they could cause my retina to detach. So there's no way.
Oh yeah, it's too.
There's
dangerous.
no way.
But in a fantasy world, would you slap the shit out of Dan Henderson?
I mean, I have done. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I would.
He can't even straighten his arms, so that's actually an advantage for you.
I would love to slap them all, line them all up. Who've we got?
Let's go.
Vanderlei Silva,
fucking go.
Kung Lee, Tim Kennedy, Dan Henderson, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Anderson Silva. I'm sure there's many more. The list goes on.
Slap them all, line them up.
Slap a bitch. Slap them all.
You could finally get that fight with Robert Whittaker.
Are you inferring that Robert Whittaker? Because I am not saying that. He's inferring Robert Whittaker's on the juice. You're a goddamn Brian. You need to come in and apologize.
I didn't mean it like that. I thought we were talking about fights that
that you wanted.
That you wanted that never
Robert's
remember you said you wanted a slap fight. You said you wanted one with Khamzat Chimaev. Remember you said that?
Me?
Yeah, you said that.
When did I say that?
You said, I'm just making it up. I just hope that gets clipped somewhere and gets ended up on Twitter.
I hope it does as well. It's all promo for the podcast. All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to do a live on this YouTube channel on the Believe You Me because I just thought we should do like a little giveaway. I'll figure out how to do it, Anthony, where we can both be on. Are you interested in doing that sometime?
Yeah.
We'll answer some live questions to the people on the believers,
Mhm.
yeah, we should do that like once a month or something. I think it'd be
Yeah.
a fun function. So we'll figure that out, how to do that. Let us know in the comments.
We could bring the girls on too.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We'll have a laugh.
We'll sit here, have a drink, answer some
Shoot the shit, exactly.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We'll do that soon. All right, that's the show. Anthony, anything to add? Anything to say?
No. Enjoy the fights this weekend, you and the believers, and I'll be there and working my ass off.
You're a big time guy.
Without a finger
face
in
of
it.
ESPN.
Yeah, trying.
You don't love me. All right, guys, that's it. Take care. All the best. Bon voyage.